Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Talking Blues YouTube channel. It's just me today. So we're going through this preview solo, but we got a lot to talk about. We got the Ben Chilwell news. We've got who could be coming in to replace him, some Champions League news, some COVID news as well, and the injury report, of course. So first, starting with the breaking news of today. Ben Chilwell. I'm going to read Chelsea's statement here. After a knee injury in the match against Juventus, the Chelsea medical department, in collaboration with their knee specialist, took the decision to attempt a conservative rehab approach. Unfortunately, Ben was unable to progress, and so collectively the decision has been taken to proceed this week with a surgical repair, aka he's having surgery. His season is done. Very disappointing. It's upsetting. We had a little bit of slim hope that, hey, possibly he could come back. Might be okay. Maybe he won't need the surgical repair. He could come back. But no, he will need surgery, which means that Chelsea will be without Ben Chilwell for the rest of the season. This news came out early this morning here in the U.S. Later in the day, we're starting to get rumors coming out from various sources. And the two main players coming out that are rumored to possibly come and replace Ben Chilwell, at least for the rest of the season in January, are Everton defender Lucas Digne and Ajax's Nicolas Tagliafico. Both very high-end defenders. Digne obviously already in the Premier League, so I think that would be a more ideal option. He's been pushing to get out of Everton. Everton are apparently going to allow him to leave in the January transfer window. Tagliafico is an interesting one. It might take him time to adjust. Do Chelsea have the time to let him adjust? Probably not. A couple other things that are considered are bringing back Emerson, recalling him from his loan at Lyon. His loan at Lyon. That sounds funny, but it's not funny because we're in desperate need for a left back. But I think Digne would be perfect playing on the left wing back. We see what he could do going forward for Everton. Sometimes he's a bit suspect defensively, but let's just say so is Marcos Alonso. So I think both these moves would be good, and hopefully Chelsea can get something done because if we want to compete, we're definitely going to need to replace that position. And it looks like either of those options won't be too expensive with both clubs allowing those players to leave. And in the long term, I think they're decent options as well in rotation with Ben Chilwell because those wing-back positions are very tiring in a long season. So getting some backups there would certainly be very, it would be good, right? It definitely would not be something that's just for this season and then we move on and we're like, oh no, what do we do with these players? I think they would still have a significant role going forward. Going into some of the vaccine news, the COVID news, obviously with Omicron sweeping the world, really. There's been some new regulations. So Thomas Tuchel may only be able to pick double vaccinated players for Chelsea's away UCL last 16 tie against Lille. Obviously, the draw was a couple weeks ago now, after the French government confirmed double vaccinations for professional sports will be mandatory in the country starting from January 15th. The UCL tie will be in late February, January 15th. Obviously, that's a month after. So this rule will be in effect, meaning that some of these players who are unvaccinated or only single-dose vaccinated for Chelsea will not be able to play. I don't know. We don't really have the specifics about who's unvaccinated. I'm not going to go over rumors and stuff because, there's people rumoring certain players not being vaccinated. We don't really know. They haven't announced that. I'd say this, if any of our key players are unvaccinated, that would certainly be a problem. But my sense is that most of the players are vaccinated just based on Tuchel's stance, right? You see Tuchel always talking about how COVID's impacting his team, etc. I would assume he's probably gotten the message across that, hey, we can't be affected by this. We need to get vaccinated, even though we still have been affected by this. But that would be my guess on what would be the case for Chelsea. But, we've here in the U.S., there's been tons of surprises. Aaron Rodgers, for example, in the NFL, people you assume would be vaccinated and then they haven't been, right? So you never know. It's just important to hopefully let's just hope all our players are vaccinated so they can they can go to France and play in that last 16 tie against Lille. Obviously, we also have a match against Brighton tomorrow or today as you're listening to this, most likely. Today in the UK, it's already match day. It's around 7:50 when I'm recording this in the US. Brighton currently are 11th in the table with 23 points. They won their last game, lost theirs 2 games ago, and then have had 3 draws in a row prior to that. They're definitely a solid team. They have a good engine. They have some great players. And, Chelsea sitting in third. Liverpool did lose 1-0 to Leicester today. And that brings them level with Chelsea at 41 points. So it goes Man City 47, Liverpool and Chelsea 41. Liverpool with the goal differential 34-29, making them win the tiebreaker with Chelsea. Brighton, when you look at if you look at their team, they were decimated by COVID as well, I do believe. They do have Neil Maupay, Trossard, Mac Allister, Lallana. They have some players that they actually obviously have ex-Chelsea loanee, ex-Chelsea Academy boy, Tariq Lamptey. So that's always going to be an interesting one. They lost Ben White over the summer to Arsenal. They brought in Cucurella from Getafe, I believe, and he's been quite good for them. And I think I was a fan of the signing. He can kind of play on the wing. He can play in a wing back role. He can play as a winger. He can play as a left back. He's been playing left back mostly for Brighton. So that's a guy you want to keep an eye out. But Neil Maupay obviously is the main man on that team. He scored late goals, important goals. He steps up in the big occasions. He's going to be someone we need to watch. So that's going to be very important for Chelsea if we want to win this game. 2:30 EST. That's the time for the game. If anyone didn't know, it's going to be on Peacock, of course, which is the most annoying platform of all. If you're an American watcher, then you know that. I guess I'll go into my lineup prediction. So I think Mendy will start in goal. I think not Thiago Silva. Rudiger, Christensen, I think, will start. There was reports that he did come to training today, so that's good because there's been some weird things going on. I don't know whether it's with his contract, with injuries, etc. But I think it's going to be Christensen, Rudiger, and Chalobah on the back three. Reece James at right wing back, Marcos Alonso left wing back. And then I'm going to say Jorginho and Kovacic in the center midfield. Conte out injured, but he was at training today. So that's going to be that's good news, right? So hopefully he's okay, but we don't know that yet. And up front, I'm going to go Lukaku, Mount, and Hudson-Odoi. So those are my 3 up front. And for score predictions, or prediction, because it's just me today, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea win. Callum Hudson-Odoi with a goal. Romelu Lukaku with a goal. So that's my score prediction there. In general, without that, besides that, we also have a game coming around in the new year, so we're going to have to keep an eye out this weekend for that. A lot of condensed games, a lot of condensed matches, a lot of rest, hopefully some rotation, but we have a lot of injuries and COVID issues, so we need to make sure that hopefully everyone gets well and gets going. I think that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully everyone else, my fellow cast, will be back for the next episode or the next preview video. I think they will be back for the episode. At least Josh will be. So that's hopefully good. Because otherwise you have to listen to me again for 10 minutes. You don't want to do that. Thank you for listening. Go follow Talking Blues Pod on Twitter. Go follow Talking Blues Pod on TikTok, or the Talking Blues Podcast, I believe it is, on TikTok. And make sure to go subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe. I don't know where the button is, so you're just going to have to find it yourself. Smash that like button. And we'll see everyone next time for the Brighton recap. And you'll see another preview episode out again later this week, probably. So thank you. Peace.